My overall favorite play is going to be Corbin Carroll over 8 fantasy score. I'm going to show you why in just a second. Now, when taking a look at the PrizePicks board, a lot of people just go through their MLB plays, pick their favorite plays. That's never the way to do it. A matter of fact, the average sports bettor hits their parlay legs about 50% of the time. The reason being is because the sports books just have an edge over you. And what they do is they punish you in terms of the fixed payouts for some of these players. So for instance, if I went in and I put in Michael Grove here over $20 turning to $6, this power play only pays out 3 times. So it's a parlay that pays out 3 times. And when you correlate this to a sports book, this is an average leg of minus 137 implied odds. Minus 137 implied odds is actually incredibly juiced. So what I want to show you guys, and I'm not going to go through all the advanced math in this specific video, but we have another YouTube video if you guys want to look. We have actually a ton of YouTube videos going over the advanced math of 5-leg flexes and 6-man flexes. This is the best slip type in terms of the bang for your buck because the math breaking this down, the payout structure, 10 times for hitting 5 out of 5, 2 times for hitting 4 out of 5, and then 0.4 to hit 3 out of 5 correlates to minus 119 implied odds, opposed to the minus 137 you'd be getting in a 2-man power, which is why we always recommend playing a 5-man flex play on PrizePicks. Regardless, I'm going to go into the rest of these plays here in a second. But again, just to kind of recap, the reason why we always trust sportsbook lines and compare them directly to PrizePicks is because the average sports bettor doesn't have a mathematical edge by simply using their sports knowledge. Mine, it doesn't matter. Anybody at ESPN, NFL analysts on Yahoo, it does not matter how smart they are. The sports books are pouring millions and millions and millions of dollars into their projection models and things like that to stay ahead of their sports bettors. So always keep that in mind that what you see on this board is generally the most sharp bet, the most sharp projection that you're going to see. And again, up to a certain margin of error because the implied odds are built into that. But minus 137, we're looking to beat we're looking to beat PrizePicks on the individual legs 54.2% plus of the time to remain profitable in the long run. That is how you're going to do it, and that's how you get limited on DFS apps like PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play, all these other apps. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to build out a 5-man flex by beating each one of these legs over the long term of 54.2% of the time. And we're going to do that by just directly comparing sportsbooks lines, right? Because we're using their data, their projections, and directly comparing them. When we find a projection that's off, we can take advantage of this. So I can almost guarantee you that some of these projections are going to be pulled off by the time I post this video. But again, this is more for information to show you guys that there really is an edge. It's just about loading up the sportsbooks lines at the exact time and then hitting these value plays at a specific time in the day. Usually we see a ton of value on discrepancies when we load up PrizePicks and Underdog because they're opening lines on League of Legends. They have no clue what they're doing for whatever reason. And what you'll quickly notice is that all esports have some sort of discrepancies, again, because they're niche markets. There's not enough data. There's not enough projection models and other resources like these major sports to where these DFS apps feel confident enough in taking and setting these lines and these projections. So that being said, if we just take a look here, again, trying to get this video out as soon as possible because I know that these lines will move. These discrepancies will end up moving. But we have a little bit of time since it's esports. So if we take a look at Leaf here for Valorant Cloud9, don't need to know anything about the sport that we're betting on because, again, at the end of the day, if we identify a large enough discrepancy between two apps, it does not matter. That they are just projections, just like any other sport. So on Underdog, they're saying, hey, the most accurate and sharp projection is set to 38.5. But on PrizePicks, they're like, no. It should be 2 points lower. It should be 2 kills lower at 36.5. So what we can do is then assume that the middle, 37.5, is the most accurate projection. And what you'll see organically is that people are hitting the under on Underdog and the over on PrizePicks. This line will get bumped towards the middle. This happens like 90% of the time because, again, neither one of these apps are losing off their bettors. They're making money off their esports market. And because of that, they're driving in a ton of more projections, more data to set these lines. So Leaf on PrizePicks, we're saying he's off. 1 to 2 kills, 36.5. Go ahead and hit the over. Right now we have Corbin Carroll for the reasons I've already talked about, over 8 fantasy score, Leaf over 36.5. And then you can turn around, same exact sport, NZR. Looks like there's another discrepancy. On PrizePicks, he set to 28.5, but on Underdog, he set to 30.5. So we're using that exact same logic. His sharpest projection should be somewhere in the middle, 29.5. We really should be hitting this until it hits that projection, right? And this is using the assumption that Underdog's projection does not move. but 28.5, we're hitting the over here on NZR. 28.5, it looks like he's off 2 kills. And then we can go ahead and head down the list here. League of Legends, another discrepancy on PrizePicks set to 12, on Underdog, and on Parlay Play set to 11. So guess what? We're now using the assumption that we have 2 book supports here with Underdog and Parlay Play. They have their projection set to 12, so it's more likely that PrizePicks has their projection off by 1 kill set to 12. Now imagine if this player lands on 11 or 12. If you're hitting the over on PrizePicks or on Underdog and Parlay Play, but you're hitting the under here on PrizePicks, you're winning both bets, which is the power of having discrepancies, identifying these discrepancies, and then taking advantage of them. So Keen, I think that's how you pronounce his name here, and I know this is a baseball video, but we're going to take the value where it is. Like, obviously, I'm not going to go to another sport if I see a ton of value on Valorant in League of Legends and other esports. And the last person that we're going to be targeting here is going to be Sophia Cunningham for WNBA. And we're going to be taking a look, again, using the exact same logic that we've been using. Cunningham set to 8.5 on Botano, but on PrizePicks, she is set to just 8 points, and with some juice on the over here on 8.5. So somebody's off here. Somebody is off on PrizePicks, somebody's off on Botano. And what we're doing is we're using this assumption because it's a correct assumption to use that both books are profitable off their sports bettors, or else they wouldn't be offering WNBA lines. And because of that, it looks like there's a large enough discrepancy to hit the over of 8, and that's literally it. This is how you make profitable sports bets on PrizePicks, by identifying the market, taking the discrepancies on PrizePicks, assuming that the market did not adjust correctly, because you can use that assumption, and this is how you remain profitable in the long run, by just observing market data. That being said, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future MLB content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.